This episode of the Mystery Files contains sensitive subject matter pertaining to suicide. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health or self-harm, there are resources available online to speak directly with a trained professional or to find local community outreach services. If you're in the United States, you can visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org or call them at 1-800-273-8255. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to
The Mystery Files.
The Mystery Files.
The Mystery Files.
Season 5.
Wow.
We're oh my god, we're one hand old.
We're one hand old. Wow.
That's so beautiful.
I mean, unless you don't have all your fingers. If so, that really, I'm sorry. That's sad.
So if you have 5 of anything in your home,
Yeah.
that's us.
If you have 5 of anything in your world.
5 cats,
you know,
5 dogs, 5 fingers, 5 eyes.
Strawberry shortcakes, 5.
5 Raggedy Ann dolls.
Oh my gosh, this is literally my
Named
childhood.
Robert.
5 little Raggedy Ann dolls from the Conjuring movies.
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Robert. Whatever you need in your life. Just 5 of anything.
Oh.
We're that old.
I am happy to be back.
I'm happy too.
I love that today, we already talked about it a little bit because we've been talking a little bit before we started recording.
Yeah.
I love this today feels like the first day of fall. Like the weather was like 55 degrees out. And we're doing the new season of the Mystery Files right now.
I know, it's like perfectly spooky. We both have like little sweaters on.
We do.
We're
It's
cozy
like
city.
I literally was like, oh, it's like Halloween now.
It is. I'm literally wearing a Halloween sweater and I'm drinking out of a Halloween mug and I have my Halloween slippers.
Wait, what does your sweater say?
Ghouls just want to have fun. And I think that's pretty accurate. Ghouls do want to have fun.
You have a ghost mug right next to you, too.
It's the Target mug, guys. If anyone out there knows about this Target ghost mug, I got it. I found it.
You should tell them about what you told me about what you did this morning to go get it.
This morning I woke up and I was just casually thinking, I wonder if the Target near me has that ghost mug back in stock. And guess what, guys? They did. So you know what I did? I made sure to get dressed real quick and my fiance, Benjamin, was in the shower. So I waited until he got out and I went, Benjamin, we're going to Target. He was like, okay. So then we rushed over to Target and I found the last final ghost mug. But it was so scary.
So funny. You forgot to mention the person you told me about. Like,
Oh,
the person
yes.
was running in. Like,
So,
an emergency.
when we were coming in, we were walking so quick, so we were afraid someone was going to, like, take this mug from us. And there was this guy, he was, like, speed walking in. And we were like, oh, no, he better not be going towards our mug. But then he turned when we came in. But I was like, if you're going to this mug, I swear, sir, there's going to be a fight like Christmas in the Cranks. Don't try me.
Oh, my God. I just realized something.
What?
Do you think he was going for the Squishmallows?
Maybe.
Because they're, like, out of stock. Like, they literally restock those things, like, every morning. And people, like, feed off them.
Well, see,
Like,
that's
they
why I got
run.
scared. I was like, if someone finds out that they have the ghost mugs, like, someone's going to take this.
Yeah.
But this was the last one in the store. I'm like, do not even try me. I check this like I check my Facebook account every day. Every day.
You check your Facebook every day?
I don't know. I have a lot of cute, like, spooky group chats on there. I'm like
You told me about that,
I know,
yeah.
I'm in a spooky book club, and I finally got the books that they've been recommending. I got My Best Friend's Exorcism, which I haven't started yet, but I'm very excited. And then I'm listening to the Audible book, The Final Girls Support Group, which is actually really good so far.
You told me about that one. That seems really, really interesting.
Yes, so join it on Facebook if you guys want some spooky book recommendations. I'm not the leader of
Spooky.
the book club, but it's fun.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in any, like, horror groups like that. I'm just, if anyone didn't know on the podcast, I'm just gay. So, like, horror is my group. Like, every
you
gay
are.
person loves horror movies.
That's
and,
beautiful.
Like, everything. That's basically,
it.
so I don't need a Facebook group. I got my people already.
You got everyone else around you.
everyone,
Oh, no.
everyone, like, loves Jamie Lee Curtis. Everyone I know is like,
That makes sense.
Yeah, like, scary movie queen.
She's the Scream Queen.
She is a Scream queen.
Literally the Scream Queen. We love her for that.
I've seen so many people, like, already, now that it's, like, spooky season, resharing
Mm-hmm.
clips from Scream Queens being like,
Oh
the show was
my.
so ahead of its time just because it's spooky season.
You see, I need to rewatch that because I feel like I'd enjoy it just the same, but I started rewatching that show called Scream that I really liked, but it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of hard to get back into once you already know who, like, the killer is
Yeah.
or, like, the secrets of the show.
That's, like, the hardest thing about slashers and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And, it's weird after you watch a horror movie that has a lot of plot points
Yeah.
because it makes it watching the second time a little, like, not underwhelming, but, like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, Danielle, she
Yeah.
was watching Fear Street, and I
Mm.
was like, how are you not understanding that, like, this person is so and so, or like this person is
Yeah.
this? But then I realized I didn't think that the first time I watched it either.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I know the whole story.
Yeah.
Like, because she was like watching the first movie and she was like, I'm confused about like X, Y, and Z. And I was like, why?
Why?
They explain this, don't they? And she was
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't
Oh.
think so. And I was like,
You're
oh
like,
my
it makes
God.
sense because you watched it all the way through, so now you're seeing all the elements that led up to,
Mhm.
like, what is the answer to what you were, like, anticipating the entire time.
Exactly.
But it's so hard to watch it a second time because you're like, I know your secrets.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like the hardest part. It's like, like how do I
I know.
place this all together?
So that's how it is for the Scream
Cute.
TV show. But I feel like it might be a different with, like, Scream Queens, just
Mhm.
because I don't remember a lot about the first season. I know I loved it and I know I loved the energy, but I don't remember a lot of the plot anymore. So I feel
Well,
like I need
Scream
to
Queens
rewatch.
is like very
It's
like,
crazy.
It's crazy camp. So like
Mhm.
even though you know the kills and stuff, the jokes are still landing. And they're
Yeah.
also very funny.
I also like it because it's more like lighthearted horror,
Also,
which I appreciate it.
also, that cast will never be brought back together again.
And that's so
Ariana
sad.
Grande, Emma Roberts, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kiki
Mhm.
Palmer.
Oh, I love
Like,
Kiki Palmer.
What?
All of
like
them.
all of them in that show just will never be. Nick Jonas.
Oh yeah, I forgot
these people
he was
will
in
never
it.
be in the same room ever again. Like,
Well, I hope they are now. If they
oh
ever
my
make
God, I
another
forgot
season.
Leah Michelle is in it.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Leah Michelle.
Miss Rachel Berry
According-
herself.
Compared to everyone else, I feel like it's just Leah Michelle. It makes sense that she's there,
She's
but
gonna
also
We have Glee fans watching us, guys. I'm
We
a
love
Glee
Glee.
fan, so because I hate myself.
we're Gleeks over here, guys.
Glee.
Gleeks. That's what you missed on Glee. We should have like a recap that's like, that's what you missed on the Mystery Files. Like, kind of like, and that's what you
All
missed
right,
on
that's
Glee.
what we're saying. At the end of this one.
Oh no.
Wait, we can't do that at the end of this one. We'll do it at
Oh.
next week. We'll talk about like, yeah. So last week we talked about this.
Wait, we can do that this time for
Oh my
our
God, we
last
can.
season.
You're so right.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, wait. So what do we
Okay.
say? Like,
So we explain. Oh, so our last episode was XYZ.
okay.
So
wait.
would you like to start
So
that?
okay.
'Cause I
So
don't
here's
remember.
what you missed last week on the
Mystery
Mystery
Files.
Files. We had a double feature, and we talked
Yeah.
about La Llorona.
And fairies that are evil.
Evil fairies.
Evil
In
fairies.
which your episode, like I told you already, did better than mine.
Oops.
You guys really love Tiffany's cases.
Well, because fairies are whack.
They
like,
are.
What the heck?
And there were some really good ones in there.
I like La Llorona, though. She's, like, perfectly spooky.
I still can't believe the Evil Fairies episode was an hour.
I know. There's so much more information, though. I'm like, that could have honestly been, like, a two-parter.
Mhm.
Like, there's a lot of info. I'm
Well, I
like,
feel like there's a lot of cases we do that we're like, all right, we gotta wrap it up.
we gotta wrap it up at an
It's,
hour.
like, long.
No, it's not our fault.
So, are you ready to get into this week's case, the one I have picked for our first episode?
I'm so
season
excited to
5?
get started on this new season with your case. So let me know when you want your little drum roll. I'll get it for you.
I would love my little drum roll, please.
Okay, here she comes. You ready?
This week on the Mystery Files, we will be discussing the case of the Cecil Hotel.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay,
finally.
Okay, yes.
It's the Cecil Hotel episode, baby.
I'm excited.
This is what I
okay.
meant when I said we've briefly talked about it and stuff,
Mhm.
because I think you talked about it in Haunted Places, possibly.
Yes, I did.
But you
I was
mentioned only
like-
one thing about it.
Mhm.
And then I think we briefly mentioned it because it has so many connections to other like true crime things we talked about.
Yes, I'm trying to vaguely remember which hotel that was. I know isn't it in like near Los Angeles, that
It
area?
is in Los Angeles, downtown
Okay.
Los Angeles to be
Oh,
exact.
wow.
So,
See, I knew something. I remembered something.
yeah, so just to give everyone a brief overlook, we're going to be discussing the origins of the hotel, like how it began
Ooh.
and how it turned from one of the hottest spots in Los
Mhm.
Angeles to the haunted mystery that it is today.
Yay!
All
Very
right.
Shining-esque, but not.
Yeah, so all of our information is coming from the website allthat'sinteresting.com. So
Mm.
thank you guys so much for lending us your info to talk about the show.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so nestled within the busy streets of downtown Los Angeles lies one of the most infamous buildings in horror lore, the Cecil
Ooh.
Hotel.
Eee.
Since opening its doors in 1927, the Cecil Hotel has been plagued with unfortunate and mysterious circumstances that have given it perhaps an unparalleled reputation from the masses. At least
Mm.
16 different murders, suicides, and unexplained paranormal events have taken place at the hotel, and it's even served as the temporary home of some of America's most notorious serial killers.
Oh.
This is the eerie story of Los Angeles' Cecil Hotel.
Oh no. So she's got a history.
She's got a lot going on to that. I mean, we're going to go into it a little bit more, but this hotel is what loosely inspired American Horror Story Hotel.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't watched all that. I watched the first episode, I think.
It kind of spirals as all American Horror Story seasons do.
That makes sense.
I like how we're saying that, even though in I think the last episode we were talking about how much we liked the new one.
Have you watched any of the new one, by the way? I
have.
I'm not caught up with last week's, or I guess this week's. It's Thursday today. Yeah, so I have 2 episodes to watch still.
It's pretty good. I'm 1 episode behind, I think.
Okay, so you're caught up to where I was caught up. So.
Oh my god, so we can talk about it after this. Yay.
Okay.
So, the grand opening of the Cecil Hotel. The Cecil was built in 1924 by William Banks Hanner. It was supposed to be a destination hotel for international businessmen and socialites. Hanner spent $1 million on the 700-room box art style hotel, complete with a marble lobby, stained glass windows, palm trees, and an opulent staircase.
Ooh,
it's a great word,
pretty.
like an opulent staircase.
Opulent. I love that there's stained glass windows. It's very like cathedral-esque.
Yeah.
So.
Do you know what opulent is?
Not gonna lie, no.
It's basically it means like rich, like
fancy, bougie. Is that the
yes,
proper term?
it's like rich and luxurious and lavish lifestyle. So this hotel was supposed to be like this gorgeous destination for all these international businessmen.
Instead, it's dark and twisty.
And that's evil.
Evil, death, paranormal activity.
But Hanner would come to regret his investment because just 2 years after the Cecil Hotel opened, the world was thrown into the Great Depression.
Why did I think it was going to be the pandemic? I was like, wait a second.
Exactly. That was my thought too.
Oh no.
Because like there was just so many things like with the pandemic that like people opened like for example at our own school we opened like a multi-million-dollar playhouse and then the pandemic happened right after we opened it.
And it's like great, that's great financially for us. That's positive.
That's so great for us to have.
I mean, Great Depression, COVID-19, they're pretty much the same.
And it just sucks too because the like hotel like basically opened towards the end before the Great Depression started, so they didn't even get to have like the rich and party culture that was like the 1920s.
Yeah.
Like when
that's sad.
Yeah, so like it barely got a chance to live its life as this gorgeous, beautiful.
It didn't get to roar in the Roaring 20s. Isn't that so sad? It was roarless.
It's a lion roar.
It's a silent lion because she was kept in a cage for too long, so then she got a little angry.
And then she got the Great Depression.
She got the Great Depression. She got no medication. She didn't get therapy. And so she got violent.
Yeah, so...
Oh, no.
So, yeah, Los Angeles was also not immune to the economic collapse of the Great Depression, even though it's such, like, a luxurious city, and there's so many, like, businesses, film, TV, everything there. It also had a collapse when that happened. So, soon enough, the area surrounding the hotel would be dubbed, which I didn't know this, as Skid Row.
Wow.
I didn't know Skid Row was, like, where the Cecil Hotel was. I've heard of Skid Row.
Yeah.
But, like, I never knew, like, it was that, like, area, which is
That's
crazy.
so surprising that it was considered Skid Row. Like, even if something is really expensive and it's not necessarily thriving, I still think it would be, like, a pretty
Yeah.
fancy place in general.
Yeah, so the once beautiful hotel soon gained a reputation as a meeting place for runaways and criminals.
Oh.
And worse yet, the Cecil Hotel ultimately earned its reputation for its mass amount of violence.
Oh.
Yeah, so,
Oh.
all right, so we're going to go into the first area, which happens in the 1930s.
Okay.
So, in the 1930s alone, the Cecil Hotel was home to at least 6 reported suicides. A few residents ingested poison while others shot themselves, and then another slit their own throat, or
Oh.
even worse, jumped out the bedroom window.
Ooh.
That is crazy to me because I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming you've seen pictures of the Cecil Hotel, right?
Yeah.
It is so high, especially in like downtown, like Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
That's crazy to
It's
me.
sad. Like, I feel like the hotel, like, something spiritual or, like,
Mm-hmm.
something had to be mentally messing people up. Or, like, them already going in that hotel in a dark place must
Yeah.
have really messed with them for them to get to that point of taking
I
their
mean,
own
even having
lives.
like that energy like with you, because
Yeah.
definitely being in a certain place can make your energy just feel so off almost.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about that before, like there's
Just
been
very dark. Like,
dark feelings like you
mm-hmm.
shouldn't be there.
Oh.
Yeah, so in 1934, for example, Army Sergeant Louis D. Borden slashed his own throat with a
Mm.
razor, and then less than 4 years later, Roy Thompson of the Marine Corps jumped from atop the Cecil Hotel and was found on a skylight of a neighboring building.
Oh.
So, like, apparently a lot of military personnel were going to this place as well. So there's a lot of common,
Ugh.
like, I don't know if that's the right word, not themes, but like
Yeah.
a general
Like, type
mass
of
of people.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, if there's any sort of correlation with, like, the mental health of, like, these people in the
Yeah.
military, because I feel like a lot of those people get, like, different, like, PTSD, like, different
Yeah.
mental issues, mental health problems that would
Yeah.
lead to, like, a very dark mental state.
Absolutely. And like yeah. So the story actually gets a little more interesting as well. So
Mm.
in September of 1944, 19-year-old Dorothy Jean Bursell awoke in the middle of the night when she was staying at the hotel with massive stomach pains while she was staying there
Ooh.
with Ben Levine, who I believe was her, um, I believe it was possibly her boyfriend. I'm not entirely sure.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, she went to the bathroom as to not be like not to disturb Ben, and to
Mm-hmm.
her complete shock, while in the bathroom, she gave birth to a baby boy. And she
Ah.
had no idea she was pregnant.
Ew, that's
Not a
so
single
scary.
sign.
Ew.
Yeah, so it's like that's bonkers to me.
That's bonkers. My mom did that. Did you know that?
What? To who?
Well, first off, Stephanie and I, she didn't know she was having us until, like, I think it was
Mhm.
maybe 5 months in. So she had us, like, 4 or 5 months early. But for Michael, she didn't know she was having him until the day before she had him. Because
What?
he was having, like, crazy stomach pain.
That's crazy.
Went to the hospital and had Michael. And he was very premature as well.
How did you not feel like? I mean, not you.
Yeah.
Like
How did you not?
like how did you not know, Tiffany? Like what the
Well,
heck?
I feel like for Michael, he was very small, but for Stephanie and I'm surprised she didn't know because we were literally twins.
Yeah.
Like, you'd
She
think.
didn't know for you two either.
Well, she didn't know until, like, it was maybe 5 or, like, 6 months in. Like, it was very late, and then we were, like, 4 months early anyway, so, like, we were kind of. She barely knew
Oh
about
my
us until we
God.
were born. But, like. So.
Your poor mom.
I know.
Like,
I'm just trying to live my life.
like she's like 5 months in, and then she like realized she's having twins.
My
like,
gosh.
oh, all
Well,
right.
The thing with us too, like, Stephanie and I were so small as babies as well. Like, I was 3 pounds 7 ounces. She was 4 pounds 3 ounces. So, like, we were
Remember when I
babies.
called that big?
What? Yeah, you literally called me a big baby. I'm like, I was 3 pounds. A healthy baby is probably around like 10 pounds.
That's
How
'cause
much
I
did
didn't
you
actually-
weigh, Logan?
I don't know.
You were probably like a 10-pound child. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I was told I was a chubby baby, so.
Yeah.
Little
Big.
chubby baby.
You're big. Who calls a baby big? That's so mean. Oh, you were 3 pounds? So big.
I don't know how.
You're gonna give your children issues growing up.
No, I'm
Logan.
not. No, I'm not. I will support and love them.
Even if they're big.
It's just I don't have a lot of muscle mass in my body, so if I have a baby, like say you're like a surrogate for me and you have a baby, which you wouldn't do.
I'm not giving no birth to your babies.
Theoretical. You take like that baby slips out of you. I like hold it into my hand, into my arms, and then like I immediately fall with the baby because it's just so heavy for me.
First off, I hated that you said slips out of you, and two. Why would you drop your child, you rat? What?
Well, I drop him because he's so heavy. Like, it'd be like if I had an anvil, you know, like in cartoons when they throw an anvil at someone, they're like, oh,
no. No.
It'd be like a cartoon bit.
So you'll be a cartoon family. I'll help. The thing is, I'll help you find a surrogate, but I will not be your surrogate. I'll support you and your baby.
It was theoretical. It was like a theoretical decision.
Well, theoretically, I will help you find your surrogate. I'll make Stephanie do it. Oh, Stephanie.
Oh my god.
Yes, I support your baby decisions as long as they're not in my body.
Oh my god.
You're welcome.
Wait, would this be considered a baby boomer? What age group is baby boomers?
Isn't that like
age group?
50s.
It would not be the 1940s, right?
No, I'm sure it's like 60s.
This
hippie
is my
times.
Google search of the day.
My guess is 1960s. Am I right?
Wait, no, 1946 and 1964. Wait, so it could be a baby boomer.
Oh my gosh.
Baby boomer at the Cecil Hotel.
At the Seahole Hotel.
Who's seeing hole?
Who is seeing what?
Which hole?
No. You see, this is why I'm glad we're not part of Point Park anymore. Because someone would take that somewhere.
That's the best part about being an independent show now.
We're free birds. Free birdies. But yes,
all
baby
right.
boomers, right?
So we're going to hop to 1962.
Wow.
So
what a time.
65-year-old George Gianni.
Ooh, cute name.
Mafia man.
Okay, Mr. Mafia.
Was walking by the Cecil Hotel with his hands in his pockets when he was struck to death by a falling woman.
Oh,
Pauline
no.
Auden, 27, jumped from the 9th floor window after an argument with her estranged husband, Dewey.
Oh.
Her fall killed both her and Gianni instantly.
Oh, wait, how far did she jump from?
From the 9th floor of the hotel.
Wow.
So I'm assuming if the lobby is the first floor going up, like that's pretty high. Like imagine that. Like that's crazy to me.
So I was going to say she'd have to be up pretty high for her force of falling to like kill this guy.
I'm just like it's just like so interesting to me that like her first like decision after having an argument with her husband was to like just jump. Like that's like so crazy and like horrific. Like it's just I don't know, like it's just kind of like I don't know, it's just like I'm done with this conversation and you said yeet, dove out.
Goodbye.
Like that's after like the show. If I was like, all right, Tiffany, I'll catch you later, and
well, we have to fight first, so we could fight over like coffee or something, and then.
And I feel like, we have to fight over something.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, but.
What was I gonna say? Oh, so basically, I was thinking about this. I'm pretty sure like reasonings like this is why windows on such high stories on city streets are locked.
It makes sense.
Like it can endanger other like harmless civilians. And then also I know they had a huge thing with like air conditioners and like things like that, like things falling onto people.
See, that's so scary.
Crazy. I wonder if they reinforce their windows now there. I wonder if that was something
I feel like they would have to at that point, but do hotels do that? Like, I know, like, places like dorms and apartments, because...
For hotels I stayed at, they just have, like a glass window pane kind of set up, and you can't really open it or put it on the side.
Yeah. Pardon you, Mr. Motorcycle Boy. But the only thing I'm thinking of is, what about hotels that have, like, balconies or, like, sliding glass windows to, like, little areas?
I don't know. Like a balcony or something?
Yeah, like I feel like that has to be. But maybe this hotel, I'd hope that they'd have reinforced considering how many circumstances they've had of like people
like jumping
doing that.
From the windows. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so police initially thought the two had committed suicide together at first. Like they thought like
Oh.
when they found the bodies, both of them jumped since they were on top of one another.
Oh.
However, how they found out they weren't, it was because Gianni was still wearing shoes and the woman was not. So that's how they
Mm.
deciphered like, which I think is a very interesting.
I feel like I don't know how they would make that connection because what about people who wear shoes
Oh.
inside or like
Oh,
what?
interesting. So just talking about like that,
Yeah.
according to this, it says the reason they believe that theory is that when he would have jumped off, his shoes would have fallen off mid-flight. Is
Oh.
that is that real?
I feel like
I
maybe it would depend on the types of shoes. Cause say if I was wearing high top Converse, there's no way those bad boys would like. Well, like
tied
thinking,
to you. Yeah,
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 like
tied in the
it would
back.
have to be like a loose tennis shoe
It
or
was
like a
probably like a
dress shoe
business shoe or something
that
like
slides
that.
off. But
I guess I never thought about that before, like the air
yeah,
pressure as you're coming.
but
Whoa.
that's so sad though.
It
Like to
is.
take just to think like you're going on a casual walk and like your life is over as well as like the person who's taking their own. Like that's so
Yeah.
sad.
So basically, because of all these like tragic suicides that happened, the Cecil Hotel was dubbed the most haunted hotel in Los Angeles, and that's
Mm.
how it started to get its reputation as don't go to the Cecil Hotel unless you want to like meet your fate or meet your maker,
Oh.
like things like that. Like people were
Yeah.
like not going there whatsoever.
Oh.
Yeah. So
And it's so
getting
crazy that it's still like a popular thing today. Just like
yeah.
just because of like the different associations of paranormal and like
Mhm.
the crazy events that have happened there, but it's strange that people would like want to go cuz I feel like with something that dark being there, I don't think I'd want to go. Like the
Mhm.
idea of like just the suicide things and everything like that.
Yeah, that's just like so
It's just
unfortunate.
sad and dark.
Yeah, so for the tale to get even darker, but hit
Oh.
like a whole new different path. So while tragic calamities and suicides were happening that were contributing heavily to the hotel's body count, the Cecil Hotel has also served as a temporary home for some of the America's most notorious serial killers.
Ooh.
And this is someone we haven't talked about on the show before, but we know very well and have
Mm.
like talked about a few times in
Yeah.
our conversations. Um, so in the mid 1980s, Richard
Mm.
Ramirez, murder of 13
Oh.
people and better known as the Night Stalker, lived
Mm.
in a room on the top floor of the hotel during much of his horrific killing sprees.
Wow. I forgot that he had associations with this like
Yeah,
that hotel.
me too, yeah.
Wow.
He was there for quite a while. Like he had a space at the Cecil Hotel.
That's just so eerie thinking that man is just like had been living in that hotel for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Ugh.
like that's just I don't know why you wouldn't get suspicious of someone staying at a hotel anything over a week, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some people would be like staying on business and like maybe they're kind of
Mm-hmm.
waiting until like their
I
job
guess
there
if
is
it was a
done.
business hotel for especially for international affairs, like I mentioned
Yeah.
before.
But also like he just seems like a shady character. Like if someone didn't know him, he would still seem
Yeah.
shady.
So this is where like this story gets a little interesting about like some of his killing sprees.
Mhm.
So apparently Richard Ramirez, after killing someone, he would throw his bloody clothes into the Cecil Hotel's dumpster and
Oh.
saunter into the hotel lobby either completely naked or only in his underwear.
And they didn't think that was strange.
In which none of the employees working ever raised an eyebrow about it.
They should.
So
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
so yeah, right?
What
Like
about like the people who like took the trash or
mhm.
anything?
Yeah,
That just seems
exactly. Like they
strange.
saw like they would have seen like those like bloody clothes or like even
Mhm.
like putting two and two together that like you found bloody clothes in there and he came back in naked at times or even
Yeah.
like wearing just underwear like going back up to his
Mhm.
room. How did that not give you some type of info to be like we need to call someone.
Yeah, or even like the idea of like some sort of security system, either like
Yeah,
security at the back of the hotel or whatever the trash can was,
exactly.
or
Well,
video cameras, something.
well, we've talked about this before on the show. The 1980s was notorious for serial killers, and like
Mm-hmm.
the police, detectives, law enforcement, like security even too,
Yeah.
was so awful. Like
Mm-hmm.
they would not put two and two together for so many things that could have been easily solved if they would have taken that extra step.
Yeah.
So this is just another like proving our theory even more
Yeah.
that the 1980s just had so much calamity with it.
Mm-hmm. Like it's just nothing was properly handled. Also, I heard somewhere that 911 like was isn't even that old. Like calling the number 911.
Yeah, it's not a very old
Do you
concept.
remember
I've heard
what
about
year it
that.
was? Cuz I heard it the
I
other day
don't
and I was like
know.
it's only been around for that long. Like I feel like it was maybe 1950s around that time or something. Like
February 16th of 1968.
I was like you're joking. 911 was not a thing until 1968.
That's crazy.
Like no wonder it was so new, like calling 911 for law enforcement. Like
Yeah. I mean, like,
ah.
that's like, by the 80s, it was only 12 years old.
Like who did they call? Not Ghostbusters, but who'd they call? I just want to know what they did before that.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to me.
Wow. Yeah. So, a journalist named Josh Dean reported that in the 1980s, the Cecil Hotel was, quote, a total unmitigated chaos.
Oh
So
gosh.
the 1980s at the Cecil Hotel was basically a free for all. Like almost anything goes. No one cared. No
Oh
one said
wow.
like anything.
Why did no one shut it down? I feel like after a certain amount of terrible things have happened in a place, why is it still open to the
Hmm.
public to continue to keep going there?
Well, from the documentaries we watched about Richard Ramirez with the Night Stalker and stuff, and even like
Mm-hmm.
how they established him in like American Horror Story, for
Yeah.
example.
Oh, I forgot he
Um,
was in that.
yeah,
Like
he was in
his a character.
1984. He was like the
Yeah.
main one of the main people. But where was I going with that? Oh, it's just like if you know someone this notorious is out there and
Mm-hmm.
this is all happening, how do you not put that
Like, how do you
together?
not get suspicious of a guy who is acting
Yeah.
in these strange ways?
Hmm.
I don't know. And I feel like he would probably have some sort of crazed look or
Yeah, I
something
mean, he had a
walking in
look, and
like
I feel
that.
like they had sketches of him like by that point because he
Yeah.
was like notorious throughout the 80s.
Like, it must have just been like even the employees of this hotel were just as like kind of messed up. So they let
Hmm.
anything fly. Like, that, not saying it was
Or
a
people
mafia
might have not
scheme.
even been in the lobby, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they probably, like, were thinking, like, whatever, I'm working at this, like, broke down hotel, like, I'm
Yeah.
making minimum wage, like, I don't really care. Like, they'll go to the back or they just, like, won't look at people. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
deal with you, go away. Or,
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's another option, but still, it's just
Yeah.
so frustrating to think about.
I feel like there could also be a theory that maybe the people who also worked at this hotel were just as like legally not in the great place. Like they could also be breaking the
Mhm.
law in different ways. So if they were to
I
report
guess
said
if it was in the
person,
area of Skid Row, like that
yeah.
could mean a lot because I know like a lot of like activity happened there.
Like they don't want to bring themselves up from the radar if they don't have to.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so at the time, Ramirez was able to stay at the hotel for a merely $14 a night.
Okay, but that's cheap.
Yeah, yeah, like
Wow.
that's crazy. No wonder he like stayed there
Oh
for
my
so long.
gosh.
14 a night?
Oh, it's probably
What
cheaper
like
than rent, thinking about it. What would it be?
yeah, I mean, I don't think inflation went that high
Yeah.
from that point, right? Like I mean like $14 is $14, but it's like what like
Wow.
that
Like no wonder
significantly
he had a
cheap.
place to hide out. Like that's a
Mhm.
crazy price.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, so apparently the reason why he was able to get away with it at the Cecil Hotel was because there were multiple cases of people being found in alleys, and people even in hallways who are like have died. Like there was people they would find
Wow.
in the hallways at the Cecil Hotel
Oh.
completely deceased and then also in alleyways near the hotel. So apparently Ramirez killing spree got under the radar because they just thought that was kind of
Hmm.
like the epidemic there. Like whatever, this is
Wow.
just our new normal,
You
which is
see,
so crazy to think
even with
about.
that, you'd think they would have better security if they're having like several deaths, like, in hallways, in public areas like that, and in, like, alleys. You'd think they'd have some sort of security system to try to catch
Mm-hmm.
what's happening. Like, that's just ridiculous to me.
Exactly. So apparently, in 1991, the Austrian serial killer Jack Unterweger also called that hotel a home as well,
Mm.
and was rumored that he chose the hotel because he had a connection to Ramirez, and he
Oh.
referenced him to that hotel.
Oh no. Wait, so was this Jack also a killer? Is that
He
what
was
you're saying?
he was an Austrian serial
Okay,
killer.
yeah.
Yeah, so basically he
Oh.
would go and stalk in search of victims, and he would um, vanish right down the street from the hotel whenever he would attack these
Mm-hmm.
people and like cause like these mass serial killings. And
Wow.
apparently, according to this article, it says there are theories that Jack actually dated the hotel receptionist of the Cecil Hotel.
Oh my. So there's like connections on connections of shady stuff going
Exactly,
on.
which kind of, I guess, now that we're talking about it, kind of
Mm-hmm.
adds to why no one raised an eyebrow with Ramirez.
Yeah.
If she's literally dating a
Mm-hmm.
notorious serial killer who's friends with Richard
Yeah. Like they're
Ramirez.
all just as messed up as one another. So like no one's
Mm-hmm.
gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Ew. Ugh. Gross.
All right, so that is most of those multiple like killing cases. Now we're going to
Mm-hmm.
dive into the eerie cold cases that have happened there, which I know
Ooh.
you will probably know of one of them very well, actually two of them. So,
Okay.
all right. So, eerie cold cases at the Cecil Hotel. While some episodes of violence in and around the Cecil Hotel are attributable to known serial killers, some murders have remained unsolved. To pick one of many, a local woman known around the area named Goldie Osgood was found dead in her ransacked room at the
Mm.
Cecil. She had suffered a fatal stabbing and a beating. Though one suspect was found walking with bloodstained clothes nearby, he was later cleared and her killer was never convicted.
He was cleared.
And another instance of disturbing violence at the Cecil Hotel had gone unresolved. However, another grimly noteworthy case of the hotel was Elizabeth Short, who came
Hmm.
known to be the Black Dahlia after her
Oh.
1947 murder in Los Angeles. Do you remember the Black Dahlia
No, I
case?
remember her name, but I can't place it. Is that the water
Yeah.
tank one? Or is that not this hotel?
It is this hotel, but
Okay.
that is a different.
I was like, I don't remember, but I'm excited to hear about her though.
Yeah, so she reportedly stayed at the hotel just before her mutilation, which remains still to this day unsolved. What
Hmm.
connection her death may have had to the Cecil is not known, but what is known was that she was found on a street not far away the morning of January 15th with her mouth carved ear to ear and her body
Oh.
cut in two.
Oh. Oh my
Crazy
gosh.
stuff.
That's brutal.
Yeah, so she was known as like the Black Dahlia for a while yeah,
Do they
which
have like associations of her with paranormal stuff as well now? Because I feel like I've always associated that name with paranormal stuff, but
mhm.
ew, that's so sad.
So Elizabeth Short was an actress who is known remotely as the Black Dahlia.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this now. Like she was a very popular actress at that time, and her death
Yeah.
was so sudden and crazy because I believe they like couldn't add up why an LA actress was in like that part of town and like
Yeah.
there for some reason.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
shady.
yeah, so such stories of violence are simply not a thing of the past. Decades after Short, one of the most mysterious deaths ever to take place at the Cecil Hotel happened as recently as 2013, which is the
Hmm.
one you'll know about, the water tank.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so in 2013, Canadian college student Elisa Lamb was found dead inside the water tank on the roof of the hotel 3 weeks
Mm.
after she had gone missing. Her corpse was found after hotel guests had complained of bad water pressure and a
Oh.
funny taste to the water.
Oh no.
Though authorities ruled her death as an accidental drownings, critics believe otherwise. So, getting
Hmm.
into it, we've heard this story before.
Yeah.
It's this idea that what was it? I remember like hearing about this that like they like put on the faucet and the water was brown and they were like, what is
Oh,
going on here? And I believe the husband was taking a shower when it like completely turned that color.
oh no, no, no. That like
Um,
grosses me out so much.
like that's just
Like
like straight
thinking
out of a
about it.
horror movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, I never really thought about like I realized that like she had passed away in this water tower,
Hmm.
but I don't know why it didn't click. Like people are drinking this water and
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I mean, washing their hands in it and
yeah,
everything.
ugh, gross.
Yeah, so before her death, surveillance cameras caught Lamb acting strangely in an elevator, at times appearing to yell at someone out of view, as well
Mm.
as apparently attempting to hide from someone while pressing multiple elevator buttons and waving her arms erratically.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm gonna
ew.
just show you to get your like live reaction of a small clip of this
Mm-hmm.
day.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna show this to you.
Yes. Okay.
So as you can see, she's like pushing a bunch of elevator buttons and she kept checking inside and outside the elevator
Ew.
doors like there's someone there. But from what I know, from what I've seen in like different records, even the
Mm-hmm.
cameras in the hallway there did not pick up a person at the
Oh.
timing of when she was in this elevator.
Like I wonder if it was some sort of like ghost like telling her to go to the water tower or like
Or like
something.
some ghost was taunting her. Or
Yeah.
like she couldn't get away from it.
That is so creepy. Like she's literally just yelling at nothing or like expressively.
Exactly.
You know, it sort of reminds me of have you ever seen people playing the elevator game?
Yes, I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
elevator
Like that
game.
sort of reminds me of that same idea.
Yeah, well like there's a lot of debates, not debates, but theories about like elevators being able to be portals to like hell or like demonic
Mm-hmm.
worlds and things like
Ooh. No
that.
wonder I hate elevators. Reason number a million, but for people who don't know, from what I remember of the elevator game, isn't it like you go up on every single floor, go back down all the way up to like I think
Hmm.
it's 13 or something.
Yeah.
Like if people have 13 and then is 13 the one where you end up like in the bad place? Like I can't remember how
I
it
believe
works,
so.
but it's some sort of way to like get to the ghosties and it's
Yeah.
really scary.
I want to actually look now. I'm going to do a second Google search of the night and look up how to play the elevator
Like I've
game.
watched videos of people playing it and it's pretty creepy. Like it's
I
scary.
mean, do you remember when they did that like Snickers commercial I think for it and they had
Did
like
they?
yeah, they did a Snickers commercial with it. It was
Ah, they
crazy.
also have on the show Evil I've been watching. It's on Paramount Plus. They did the elevator game in that and
Whoa.
it was really scary.
Okay, so according to the rules, I believe it is like you have to like put in like a secret code. So no one try this at home, all
We're not
right?
condoning this.
We're not condoning
This
this.
is how you play, but don't do it.
We're just
We're
curious.
just
In case I get
curious.
bored one
In
day.
case I'm really bored.
So you have to enter the elevator alone or with friends, but no one else outside of your party. Do not
Mm.
get out on any of the floors. If any outsiders get on the elevator, you will have to start over. So
Mm.
you must proceed to the fourth floor, descend to the second floor, then proceed to the sixth floor, return to the second, ascend to the 10th floor, then return to the fifth floor. When you reach the fifth floor, it's then that people report encountering a young woman. You're instructed not to look or interact with her. She may or may not be trying to talk to you, asking for help, or antagonizing you.
Mm.
Then, press the button for the first floor, and two things might happen. If the elevator descends to the first floor, exit immediately and do not look back or speak. If the elevator starts to go up, you have been allowed to enter the other world.
Oh
When
no.
you reach the 10th floor, things might look slightly different. No one else will be there. The power might be out. Some players claim to look out windows and see only a red cross in the
No,
distance.
no,
If you
no.
choose to exit the elevator, you should ignore the woman's attempts to question or stop you.
Ah, that makes you want to
Oh
throw
my
up. Well,
god.
yeah, it's different than what I said, but it's still it's scarier. It's
Oh
way
my
scarier.
god.
Just
That
the idea
is.
of a red cross.
Oh my god.
That's
In the
demonic,
distance.
buddy.
Oh my god. I've seen imagery of a lot of red like crosses before, like in
Mm-hmm.
light. Like,
Ugh.
oh my
That is
god.
so creepy to me.
That's
And the idea of the
crazy.
woman, don't talk to the woman. Who's the woman? Who
Oh
is
my
she?
god.
Oh,
Oh, so it says here, if you're ever in this situation and you see the other world and you don't want to explore it, hit the first floor and return home immediately.
What about the people who explore it? Can they get back on the hotel, or are they just kind of stuck there?
So apparently, according to this, if you like explore, you have to get back on the elevator and you have to do the same exact sequence to get back
Oh.
down, which is
Ah.
crazy.
That is so scary.
And you have to keep repeating the process if it doesn't work the first time. So if y'all ever decide to do this and you're in the other world, please bring a notebook.
Take some pictures. Honestly.
Take some pictures. Send them to at the mystery files underscore Instagram.
If you've been there, we want to see it. Some drawings, whatever you got.
Yeah. So to get back to the case, after the video surfaced publicly, many people began to believe that the rumors of the hotel being haunted were true. Horror enthusiasts began drawing parallels between the Dahlia murder and Lamb's disappearance, pointing out that both women were in their 20s, traveling alone from LA to San Diego, last seen
weird.
at the Cecil Hotel, and were missing for several days before they were ever found.
That is a really strange coincidence.
That is a really
that's a little too spot on.
I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand with the woman who had like a abrupt pregnancy and she didn't realize it. Like that kind of, she was 19. So that's like a 20 something as well, younger 20
Well,
something.
I'm never going there. At least until I'm 30, but I still don't want to
go. You're like, let's visit the Cecil Hotel when we turn 30. We'll be fine.
Oh, I've seen videos of YouTubers who like are interested in doing it and they get there and they can't go in. They can't like make themselves go in.
Wow.
Just like the energy of it is too much. And
yeah,
I'm like, I totally
it.
get it. That's too much history.
Big respect for people who like go into like this stuff and like dive into like give the masses, I guess, like clues into this world.
Yeah. I wonder what an experience of like a medium who would go in, like how it would be for them. Like I feel like it'd just be awful. But
yeah, so all right, what was it? So, though these connections may sound strange, the hotel has nevertheless developed a reputation for horror that defines its legacy to this day. So, the Cecil Hotel today, as we know it. So, the last body that was found at the hotel to date was in 2015. And ghost stories and rumors of the hotel's hauntings swirled once more. The hotel even subsequently served as the chilling inspiration of the American Horror Story about a hotel that's home to unimaginable murders and mayhem. But in 2011, the Cecil attempted to shake off its terrible history by rebranding itself as the Stay on Main Hotel and Hostel, a $75 per night budget hotel for tourists. Several years later, New York City developers signed a 99-year lease and began gut renovating the building to include an upscale boutique hotel and hundreds of fully furnished micro units in keeping the surging co-living craze. Perhaps with enough renovations, the Cecil Hotel can finally shake its reputation for all things bloody and eerie that has defined the ill-fated building for the better part of a century.
Well, the people who decided to renovate it are idiots, because if anyone knows anything about paranormal or any sort of creepy area, if you
gotta
renovate
burn it down.
Literally burn it. You're just stirring all those ghosties back up, renovating
Start
it.
anew. Start anew.
Literally,
I know it costs a lot of money, but if you're gonna renovate anyway, just start new.
I mean, I feel like the land would still have the energy. Honestly, just move the location.
Turn into a parking lot.
Exactly. People can park there, be haunted, do whatever, but don't put another thing there. You
Make some money as a parking lot, but do not. That is so crazy to me that it is like I would not want to stay there, even with the rebranding. That is crazy.
The fact that like literally renamed it is so shady. Because imagine like casually not knowing anything about the history of this hotel, booking a room, and then learning, oh, this used to be this hotel. Oh God, here's all this awful history that I was unaware of.
Wow.
Like I would be so upset.
I mean, it's just crazy to think that this hotel is almost 100 years old. It was first built in like, what was it, it was opened in 1927.
So yeah,
a few
it's
years
close.
Off, but it's almost 100 years old. Like that building alone, like that's
too old.
That is so crazy to me.
That creeps me. I could not stay there. I don't think I could. I couldn't take it.
So yeah, that is the story of the Cecil Hotel. What do you think?
That's a lot.
I think it's very interesting. It's like we've talked about this so many times on the show, but it seems like so many like paranormal and true crime cases all connect to each other in such interesting ways, and there's more mystery inside of those mysteries.
I feel like it's just easy for paranormal things to be associated with such darkness, because I feel like a lot of darkness comes from like evil demonic energy.
Yeah,
like that's
especially
a lot of
for
it.
100-year hotel that's had multiple like unfortunate
deaths.
events and deaths. And, yeah, exactly.
Like that'll give some energy to the place in the first place. Like you don't want that.
Wow.
And the
Yeah.
fact that it's still open. It's still open. Ugh.
Whew. Well, yeah. So I guess the hauntings of the Cecil Hotel will remain
a mystery. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
This case was a whirlwind to get through, but sure was an interesting one.
It was crazy. Wild ride.
Buckled up for it. So we will buckle up for episode 2 of season 5 with Tiffany next week.
Party hardy, friends.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.